Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the virtual Last Great Colosseum, Bristol Motor Speedway for round 9 of the Challenger Cup Series here in Season 1 of 2025. I'm your host, Dawson Wise, coming to you live on the PGR eSports Network, bringing you 225 laps of action from the half-mile bull ring that is Bristol Motor Speedway, the Last Great Colosseum, the world's fastest half-mile. However many names it has, it is infamous in this sport. And tonight, the Challenger Cup Series takes its gladiators to this racetrack and gets them on track for a chance to win that sword at the end of 225 laps. This is round 9 of the season, 18 cars on the racetrack tonight to do battle. And now it's time to get right into it. Starting grid for race 9 from Bristol Motor Speedway. Harold Watkins on the pole, a fast time of 14.491 seconds. Travis Everett is outside with a blistering fast time as well, looking for win number 1 on the season. Row 2, John Velocity in the 84, Matt Aiden in the 5. Row 3, welcome back, Kevin Zabluto. Missed last week's race in Darlington. On track this week at Bristol. Andrew Little will start 6th, got his win a couple of weeks ago, holding on to a strategy call to go to victory lane here at Bristol Motor Speedway. On row 4, James Coytrone in the 38 had a good run last week running at Darlington. Was not able, let me get that logo out of the way now that I'm seeing it on the screen. James Coytrone was not able to get that run complete. Christian Strader will start 8th in the 29. GT Irizarry, Brandon Beauchamp back on row number 5 will round out the top 10. Back in 11th, Rusty Modesty in 12th, Hunter Carlson. Row 7, Stephen Rasick and Justin Malarkey, last week's winner from Darlington. Row 8, Steve Potter and Stephen Luttrell. And row 9, Greg Bourbonier, and welcome back to the field, Mike Martino III. 225 laps on tap of the Bristol Motor Speedway. Glad to bring them all to you this week on the PGR eSports Network. The iRacing.com pace car will take the field off of turn number 4. We will get this one underway. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Bristol. Lap 2 already in the books. They go by quickly here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's Travis Everett that utilizes the top lane up by the fence to get to the race lead. Now, a note for you, there is no PJ1 on the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. There is no traction compound down along the bottom side of the racetrack, and as such, these drivers will not have a notable advantage on the bottom side of the racetrack tonight. There will be multiple lanes, multiple places on the track that you can pass, and you're seeing it right now. Everett went to the lead using the top. Watkins is going to get it back on the bottom, but Everett will fight back. And this is what makes Bristol so fun. Contact, back trouble! Christian Strader into the outside wall in the 29. He takes Coytrone with him, and the Reese's Mustang is disabled here off the exit of turn number 2. The right front wheel is not spinning for Christian Strader, and a disaster couple weeks continues. Runs out of gas down the backstretch last week. This week is going to have an early incident that is going to bring him inevitably down pit road and gain him a fast repair on lap number 7 of this race. So tough break for Strader with contact from John Velocity in that 84. But back to what I was saying. You're going to see multiple lanes work tonight. You're going to see guys that are good on the bottom. You're going to see guys that are good on the top side up against the wall, guys that are good in the middle, guys that do a mix of all of those. Throughout the course of tonight's race, you're going to see guys utilize multiple different lanes to work the racetrack, and you're going to see it over the course of 225 laps, and that's what's so fun about modern Bristol. You'll see it over the course of tonight's race. Everett continues to lead 9 up and down. Again, 14-second laps. They're going to go by awfully quickly, so you may be thinking, oh, man, 225 laps. Come on now. That's a lot, and it is, but admittedly, again, 225 laps is going to go by very quickly. Harold Watkins goes back by Everett on the bottom to use that, what I would say is the preferred lane, but oftentimes in this car it's typically not, to go back by for the lead. A quick note for you, the end of lap 56, I believe, is when tonight's stage break will take place. It'll be the only planned caution during the course of tonight's race. So Watkins leads the field. We are 12 up and down at Bristol Motor Speedway. The battle now going to take place for second. It is between Travis Everett in the 13, Matt Hayden in the 5. The Oakley Chevrolet running a lane up the racetrack. Everett has transitioned to the bottom here on the early stages of this race. Velocity and Hayden continue to ring that outside lane. My question will be, how much more tire wear do you incur up against the wall as compared to down along that yellow line? Matt Hayden runs that line, gets by Everett. He'll go to second. Matt Hayden looking for win number 2 on the year. Remember, he won back at Las Vegas when I was not able to attend. So Matt Hayden still looking for broadcasted win number 1, but win number 2 on the season. Watkins looking for win number 3. Everett Velocity still looking for win number 1 on their season. So keep an eye on them over the course of tonight's race as it goes on, as those two aim to punch their ticket to the Challenger Cup Series playoffs and also just improve their points position a little bit as the season grinds forward. Watkins continuing to lead, 16 up and down here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Matt Hayden second, Travis Everett third. The battle there has cooled just a tad. GT Irizarry has begun to creep into the battle for the lead in these top 4 positions as he has settled nicely into 5th, +4 from where he started back in the 9th position. Biggest mover on the night is Hunter Carlson, up from 12th to 7th. We'll take a look back at him. The 32 is on the move. Greg Bourbonier as well, +5 for the driver, the 00, as he's up from 17th to 12th. You saw Christian Strader coming off pit road. He is 10 laps down, and we are only 18 laps into this race. A really tough break for Christian Strader, a guy who's not had the greatest of couple weeks. Again, led late last week, could not get the job done, ran out of gas coming off of turn number 4 on that final lap of last week's race and allowed Justin Malarkey to steal that one away from him and punch his ticket into the Challenger Cup Series playoffs. Strader lost the points lead as well. Came into tonight 17 points back of Harold Watkins for the points lead. Surely will lose more ground unless Watkins finds some misfortune tonight. As of right now, not much misfortune to go around for the driver of the 3. Coitron came out of the better end of that. The Oscar Mayer car continues to run up here inside the top 10 and does have some damage, but not nearly clearly as bad as it was for the driver of the 29. Carlson, another pass. He's up to 6, +6 for the Studio 86 32 machine. Modesty back to the inside, but Carlson rings that top line really well and gets back around him and clears to that position. +6 for Carlson. We'll keep an eye on the 32 as this battling continues back here. The battle up front, though, starting to heat up, so we'll go back up here for a moment because we may have a battle for the lead that is brewing up here at the front of the field between Matt Hayden and Harold Watkins. Travis Everett as well hanging around in this battle. Again, the action will be fast, it will be furious, and it will be often here at Bristol, and eventually we anticipate that these drivers will reach lap traffic. And if you watched the NASCAR Cup Series event back on Sunday, which I actually got to attend, happy to get to see a good weekend of racing in Thunder Valley this weekend. But if you caught that race, you notice when they got to lap traffic, it was oftentimes a mix of when you caught certain cars, and tonight surely will be a mixture of that as well. When you catch a certain lap car, when the leader catches a car, when the second place guy catches a car, and so on, could determine a lot of this race in terms of, if the leader gets held up, the second place guy doesn't, or vice versa. You can see that gap fluctuate throughout the course of tonight's race. So starting to get to that point, couple cars making their way back into this battle. Again, Matt Hayden trails the leader, Watkins, by a car length. Travis Everett's driven back into this battle, and John Velocity has now gained some time as well. So Matt Hayden here looking to make quick work of Harold Watkins. Watkins defends the top. Hayden actually going to switch it up, go to the middle, and try to run that lane. Now we go all the way to the bottom to try to make the pass on Watkins. The Callaway Chevy Camaro cannot do it that time by. Watkins maintains the lead. Lap 29, halfway through stage number 1, the only planned short stage of tonight's race. You see the 75 of Martino the Bucky Chevrolet off the pace, going 1 lap down on the apron. That is not what Christian Strader wanted to see. Quick onboard look with Harold Watkins in the 3. Callaway on the side. I believe he's got good on the hood of that race car. A new look again. Harold Watkins has had some of the most diverse paint schemes this year. He's got another good one, another new one tonight. Matt Hayden, a new Oakley look aboard that Chevrolet. Very simple, all black with the silver numbers and silver trim on the Oakley Chevrolet. 31 up and down at Bristol. Again, this one's going to go by very quickly, assuming this race stays under the green flag as they pass by the start-finish line once again Watkins, Hayden, Everett, Velocity, Irizarry, your top 5. The top 4 have driven away by 2 seconds from the remainder of the field. Steven Rasick next up on the leaders catch list here under this first green flag run. They will get to him before the stage at the pace they are running right now. Harold Watkins is pulling away just a little bit. Hayden got alongside, could not get any closer than that, and now we'll have to reset, try to catch him again, but here he comes. And again, closes that gap to within a car length. Harold Watkins run a really smart race right now. Hayden will get this close, and then Watkins will do this. He'll move up, he'll block the 5, and then he'll drive away again. Hayden has not yet been able to complete a pass on Watkins when he has to run a different line. That time Watkins gets the wall. Doesn't seem to faze him that much, though, and Watkins continuing to lead the way. But Hayden, again, once he has to kind of poke that nose down a little bit, he's not able to get a drive off the corner, and Watkins is able to hold on to the lead. Now, when Hayden runs a line like this, Watkins runs the bottom, Hayden runs the middle up to the wall. It works a lot better for him. You'll see him drive right up to the back of the 3, but never able to get close enough to pass him. You'll see right here, he jams the brakes, goes right to the wall, and now will try to drive it off, runs a little bit higher than the 3, and actually that time has a little bit more success. See if he has a little more success off 4, has to back out of the gas, and here comes Travis Everett for second. So again, you saw Hayden, he had to run a different line. He had some success, but got too big a run and had to back out of the throttle to avoid hitting the Harold Watkins machine. And as such, Everett was able to drive alongside him and now is able to take the spot for the time being from Matt Hayden. Now, Hayden going to try to reset and get back around the 13. Will not be able to do so. Everett goes back to second as Watkins says, "Thank you, sir. I will take this opportunity to drive away." And right as we say that, caution flag flies for the first time tonight at Bristol. We're looking for the cause. I wonder if it was James Coytrone, but it looks like he was already back in this mix that he was already in, so it clearly was not him. Let's see if it's right here with GT Irizarry. Ooh, there it is. Contact between Kevin Zabludel and GT Irizarry. Rusty Modesty getting a piece as well. This is a battle that was right around the top 5 on the racetrack, and it ends in damage for 3 of the leading cars in this race. We'll see here. See, Irizarry running the wall. Zabludel turns down off the fence as they come off the corner and gets a big run. Irizarry has to back out of the gas, and as Zabludel's momentum carries him out towards the safer barrier, he gets into the left rear of Irizarry, miscalculates just a little bit, gets him hooked sideways, nowhere for Rusty Modesty to go. He pounds into the side of Irizarry. There's Christian Schrader, who just got all that damage fixed, coming on by as well. So 3 cars involved in this one are going to bring out the first caution flag of the night at Bristol, about 20 laps prior to the stage break. Again, you'll see that contact right here. You see the big run that the 17 gets in the middle of the corner. It was a really nice corner for the 17, maybe too good. As he gets into the side of Irizarry's car, Irizarry clips Rusty Modesty, who gets some airtime. You see Christian Schrader coming through. He gets through unscathed. Looks like everybody else gets through without a scratch. Andrew Little, Malarkey, Carlson. Looks like everybody gets through A-OK. But Irizarry, Modesty, and Zabludel are going to take the brunt of that first caution at Bristol Motor Speedway. First caution of the night, lap 42 on the board. Again, already a fifth of the way through this race, and it's been about 10 minutes. So that tells you how long this race is going to be. A little longer than 10 minutes, actually. But, coming up on the quarterway mark, the quarterway mark is going to be our stage break tonight. So in the next 12 laps, we're going to have a stage break and kind of race set again. We'll already be at the quarter mark of this race. It'll barely be 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. So this race is going to fly by, especially if we have another couple long green flag runs like that. Watkins, Everett, Hayden, Velocity, and Andrew Little now are your top 5. Pace car is down. Here we go for the end of stage number 1. Green flag back in the air. And about 13 laps to go in stage 1. Watkins, good restart. Right to the fence goes the 3, and he will pull just about a car length on the rest of the field. Everett slides to second. Hayden into third. The battle begins. Can anyone pass Harold Watkins for the lead before the stage break. These laps will go really fast, as we are just shy of 10 laps to go before that first stage break. Watkins continuing to lead. Hayden putting pressure on Everett for second. Justin Malarkey is +9 as he's from 14th to 5th. Bourbonier now +9 as well. 17th to 8th for the driver of the 00. Stephen Luttrell +7 for the driver of the 36. Everett to a half car length back of Watkins in a battle here for the stage win. Watkins catches the safer barrier. Everett, where does he go here? He's going to back up the corner, try to drive through the center, and turn on exit and get underneath the 3. It does not happen, but the pressure is on for the race leader. You see Everett backs up that corner so he can drive off on exit and kind of drive down the hill, and it's paying dividends right now. To the back bumper comes Travis Everett, looking for stage points, looking for points positioning as we head towards the playoffs, but not going to get there. Caution flag number 2 is on the speedway. And this one is ironically for Stephen Luttrell, and I hate to be the broadcaster's jinx, but unfortunately I believe I just got Stephen Luttrell by talking about him, and he brings out caution flag number 2. Let's see, he's running back here around Bourbonier. I had just talked about Greg Bourbonier, and I believe they're going to be the 2 that kind of are the catalysts for this caution. And Luttrell comes off turn 2. Oh man, that car is loose, it appears. Maybe not. Does that car get a little loose on him? Maybe a little bit. He's trying to catch it, Bourbonier is moving up, trying to give him room, and he gets the wall. He runs out of room to give Luttrell space. He gets into the right rear quarter panel of Luttrell and spins him around into the outside retaining wall. Both cars go sideways. So I got both of them. Figures. Right after I talked about them, I get both of them with the broadcaster's jinx, as both cars go sliding into the outside safer barrier. Let's take another look at this one. Again, Luttrell's trying to catch this car, and we're actually going to get a pretty nice angle if it goes back to this wall camera off turn number 2. You're going to get a pretty good angle of Luttrell trying to catch this race car. You're not going to get that angle because, thank you, iRacing cameras. You see Luttrell try to catch it. Bourbonier's trying to give him room, and he's given him enough, but runs out of space and gets the safer barrier, and Luttrell keeps on coming up, trying to save that car. He goes sideways, and it is on from there. Now, the good thing is neither of these cars seem to have taken a remarkable amount of damage. Luttrell gets kind of lucky with where he hits the wall. Well, I'll be curious to see the suspension on Bourbonier's car. We'll see what the 00 got in terms of right front damage on that tire when we get back to green flag racing. But an unfortunate break for those drivers. 2 guys I had just barely talked about in terms of their performance. So we will re-rack, restack, and try again, and we will have 4 laps to go in stage number 1. I will await calling the stage because I think they've done this to me before where that caution would end up being the stage. We'll give it 5 laps. We'll hold at the end of lap 56 for a caution, but I can't guarantee they're going to throw one here. We'll just have to wait and see. But we will give it a chance to end, and if it doesn't, we'll continue on under green flag conditions at Bristol Motor Speedway. Watkins, Everett, Velocity, Hayden, Carlson, the top 5. Here we go from Bristol. 5 to go, stage 1. Green flag back in the air. Make that 4 to go, excuse me. Everett right up at the top, right up at the safer barrier. Good start for Watkins, but Everett's going to have a nice launch here off turn 2, and we'll be right back in the back bumper, and the battle's on again for the race lead. Watkins has company. Everett, Hayden, Velocity, Carlson now in the picture as well. Off the corner again, coming back lap 55, this time by provisionally, we think, 2 laps to go in stage 1. Everett's going to have to launch here, try to get the stage win on Watkins. Let's see how aggressive the Black Rifle Ford Mustang is willing to get. Right to the back bumper. Not going to the inside. Now he does go to the bottom. Everett rolls the bottom, tries to get alongside Watkins. Not able to trouble. Out back. Carlson. Big crash. Beauchamp into the wall. Zabludel, Malarkey, Carlson. Other cars involved. Andrew Little, Luttrell, Bourbonier, Modesty. The big one strikes at the Last Great Colosseum right at the end of stage 1. This one got started with John Velocity and Hunter Carlson getting together on the end of the back straight, or on the front end of the front straightaway, coming back to what we thought was the stage white flag. Oh, big moment there for Carlson. Let's go back, show you this big moment. I think he has a wiggle here in the middle of the corner. Well, this isn't going to help us much, but see if we can't find this moment for Carlson. He starts to roll. Actually, he doesn't wiggle at all. His car just goes straight on exit. Still not turning. He's still going straight, and runs out of room, and Velocity is there. Velocity tail smacks the outside wall. Carlson comes back down. He collects Zabludel, and that's where this gets big. Velocity gets turned again. He's going to find the inside wall. Zabludel's going to come back up in front of the field and collect more cars here. Beauchamp gets collected by Malarkey in the secondary incident. There's Malarkey and Andrew Little getting involved. They have nowhere to go. Luttrell piles in from behind. He's going to get a small piece of this rate. Well, he got the wall. He may get a piece of Bourbonier here. Yep, Greg Bourbonier is going to give him a piece of those two. Find each other again. Everybody else, I think, is able to dive, duck, dodge out of the way. You see Rusty Modesty, actually, he got a piece of it as well. This is a big incident. We're going to try to get high above this racetrack and give you a better idea of what happened here. Coming off turn number 2. This isn't going to be a great angle of it, but as they come out from behind the grandstands, you'll see it start to unfold. And that's kind of what got most of these cars involved. Zabludel coming back across and Beauchamp getting tagged. It became a track blocker, and unfortunately track blockers at Bristol you can't really avoid. We'll give you an onboard real quick from one of those cars that was coming on from behind. Let's go with Luttrell and show you kind of how tough it is. I mean, not much that Luttrell can do. Watch how fast this unfolds and watch how little places there are to go by the time the 36 arrives on scene. The incident begins, and watch how fast the track clogs. I mean, he's on the brakes. There's just not much you can do, and he's getting piled into as well. And that's just how fast it can go from you running along under green, about to end the stage, to severe consequences. So stage break complete at Bristol Motor Speedway. I was going to use that as maybe our only commercial break of the night, but I had to go watch a replay of an incident. So we will go back to green flag racing, and we'll try to hit one on the next caution. Andrew Little stays out under the caution flag after being involved in the incident and inherits the lead. 165 to go in Bristol. And away we go. Watkins on the outside, Little on the inside. Battle for the race lead at the Last Great Colosseum. We'll go back to this TV mix camera. Watkins goes on by. Here comes Travis Everett, Hayden, and Coitron now in the mix as well. We'll try to follow on past Andrew Little as Watkins re-inherits the lead. Lap 63 on the board, 163 to go at Bristol. The quarter mark has been crested, and now we look forward to the halfway mark in about 50 laps from now. Coitron got past Matt Hayden. Now he sets up Andrew Little, and all of a sudden, Oscar Mayer Camaro with some speed in the middle portion of this race. Malarkey still +7. Steve Potter, how about that +7? The current two biggest movers, but Coitron trying to set up a move on third place, Andrew Little. So how about James Coitron? Last week led some laps at Darlington, was not able to get the job done this week. Looking for redemption, looking to find that win that vaults him into the Challenger Cup Series playoffs at the end of the regular season. You're on board with the leader again. As lap traffic is up ahead, Kevin Zabludel and John Velocity off the pace after the incident under our previous caution are looming here for the leader as he tries to run away from the guys behind him, as James Coitron has gotten by Little and now is on the bottom of Everett. Will not be able to make the pass. Now goes to the top, though, which is where he's been running, and tries to set up the 13 for a pass. Let's see if he can do it here. Coitron putting pressure on the leaders right now as he tries to get another good run. He had a good run last week at Darlington that vaulted him 4 spots from the 16th position up to the 12th position in points. Now looking for a potential jump even further than that coming into tonight. He was 31 points back of Stephen Luttrell. Now, I don't know if he'll make that up, but he can make up some ground to potentially make that gap a little bit more attainable in the coming weeks as we lead in to the playoffs. Matt Hayden trying to get that spot now from Everett. Hayden got by Coytrone, but Harold Watkins is checked out. 1.6 seconds to lead between first and second. Now it's up to Matt Hayden trying to get back around Travis Everett for position number 2. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. A beautiful Tuesday night to be doing some more racing, especially one of my favorite facilities, Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, got to go to all 3 races this past weekend. A really cool venue, a cool weekend of racing, great racing weather. But a really fun weekend of racing as Kyle Larson comes 1 spot short of completing the first triple header sweep since Kyle Busch, also at Bristol. It would have only been the second triple header sweep ever. He comes up 1 spot short, perhaps a caution at the wrong time for Young Money as he comes up 1 spot short of completing the sweep. Wins the Xfinity Series race in pretty dominant fashion on Saturday and completely runs away with the events on Sunday. Leads over 400 laps for the second time in 2 Bristol races. He's now led almost 900 of the last 1,000 laps run at the Last Great Colosseum. And an incredible feat as he wins a second straight race in Thunder Valley to complete a fun NASCAR weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now NASCAR and off week, and as we continue into the green flag here, should be noted next week is a points off week for us as well. In the Challenger Cup Series, there will be a race. It will be an Easter Fun Week race. Yet to hear what that combination is. At this point, there is a chance that there will be a broadcast for it. There may not be, as I'll be celebrating the occasion with family and friends as well. Not sure if I'm going to be around to be in the broadcast booth next Tuesday for that fun race, but certainly will be back the Tuesday following that. As both NASCAR taking a week off for Easter, and Challenger Cup Series going to as well before both head to NASCAR's biggest and baddest facility, Talladega Super Speedway. I'm going to be attending that race as well. Can't wait to be down on the plains in eastern Alabama for what should be a fun weekend there as well. And then Challenger Cup Series racing returns in 2 weeks for that race also. Justin Malarkey up to position number 6. Rusty Modesty up to position number 4. The men on the move right now, +7 for Modesty, +8 for last week's winner Malarkey, as both trying to capture another checkered flag. For Modesty, it'd be checkered flag number 1 of the year. For Malarkey, it would be number 2 and would be back-to-back. He would be already the 3rd driver to go back-to-back this season. Harold Watkins went back-to-back to open the year with wins at Daytona and Atlanta. Then Christian Schrader went back-to-back as well with wins at COTA and Phoenix. Or excuse me, not COTA and Phoenix. Watkins went back-to-back, I think, with the Bud Shootout in Daytona. Schrader went back-to-back, I think, with Atlanta and COTA, if I remember correctly. Again, I could be completely botching that. Malarkey, I know, would be the 3rd driver to go back-to-back already this season. So both guys looking for milestone wins. Malarkey able to punch his ticket to the playoffs last week. Modesty looking to do so here in this race. You're on board with Modesty. Modesty is chasing down Hayden and Everett. Hayden and Everett actually battling themselves for the lead as they chase this man, Harold Watkins, looking for win number 3, the points leader by 30 points coming into this week, more or less. Actually, no, excuse me, make it 17 over Schrader. It will be surely more than that if this race continues on. Travis Everett looking for a win number 1 is chasing down Harold Watkins again, just short of 90 laps complete at Bristol. And now the notable storyline is going to be lap traffic for Harold Watkins to deal with. Just short of the 90 lap mark. Now lap traffic will come into play. Velocity's up first. And how will the leader handle it? Velocity's going to get all the way out of the way. Will everyone be as kind? Personally, can't imagine the answer is yes. Watkins by 0.6 of a second over Travis Everett here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now half a second, and now the second, third place cars close on this battle once again. Greg Bourbonier is next up, then Stephen Rasick, and then Stephen Luttrell next in the crosshairs for Harold Watkins. Let's see if these other cars give as much room as Velocity just did. Looks like Bourbonier's going to stay on track, but we'll give plenty of room. We'll get a little bit off the racetrack, and we'll part the line of Watkins. Next up, Stephen Rasick, as Everett still hanging around a half second back. Just short of 100 laps complete. About 20 laps short of halfway home. This is insane that we're going quite this quickly. About to be 130 laps to go. If we continue at this current pace, this race will be over in about 32, 33 minutes, not counting pit stops. It'll probably be closer to 40 with pit cycles. Watkins to the bottom here on Rasick, and you see now, just like on Sunday, that lap car provided a little bit of hindrance to the leader, and now Everett's able to close to within 0.2, but now he'll have to go to the bottom as well, and that will hinder him just a little bit. But it gets him to within 0.3. Closing still is Travis Everett, looking again for checkered flag number 1. But he's got guys starting to chase down these battles that also are looking for checkered flag number 1, namely Rusty Modesty. It has come all the way up to 4th. Everett realizes now the urgency of this situation. And he has to get forward. He has to get the lead and try to get the win and pull away, control what you can control at an uncontrollable track like Bristol Motor Speedway. Battle for the lead heats up. Next up on tap for these leaders is Kevin Zabludel. He is already 1 lap down and looking to go 2 down here as some cars have come down pit road. Mike Martino is multiple laps down on pit road. Now Velocity has joined him multiple laps down. Christian Schrader has called it a race. As of lap 71, he will finish dead last, and that's going to have some points ramifications for the 29 because coming into tonight, he had just a 4-point gap on Andrew Little and a 15-point gap on Matt Hayden. So some ramifications in the point standings as Schrader will finish dead last tonight and will surely lose a couple spots. Battle for the lead. Travis Everett, a lunge to the inside of the corner, will go right to the inside of Watkins, and he will take it. Does Watkins fight back? Crosses over. Here comes the 3, but he will remain in line for the time being. Does Harold Watkins, and now Travis Everett drives to the lead and now tries to set sail away from the 3 machine, trying to capture win number 1. Coming into tonight, Travis Everett was 6th in the Challenger Cup Series points. Did not have a stage win yet this season, but in 8 races had finished top 10 in all 8 and had 3 top 5 so far. He was only about 46 points back of the points lead and had garnered 38 stage points early in this one. He had garnered 5 bonus points as well. Surely would love the bonus point gap that he would get from winning this race if he's able to continue to run as well as he has. About 8 laps short of halfway already here in Bristol. We're already in triple digits, and again, I mean, they're rolling off 14-second laps. Again, these laps, they will fall off a little bit as guys burn tires, but last lap for the leaders, a 15.5. They're going quickly. Oh, contact, Luttrell. And the second place car, Watkins, made some contact right there. And now Matt Hayden is right back into the fray here with the 3. Hayden going to try to get by him in the Oakley Chevrolet. And he will, but he'll go back to the bottom as Watkins is able to run the top. Hayden going to run that middle lane. Now he tries to take a shot at Watkins as Everett starts to drive away. Meanwhile, change for 4th, Justin Malarkey. Last week's winner has come past Rusty Modesty, and now he's plus 10 on the night. Malarkey gained 2 spots in the points with his win in the regular season points, that is, with a win last week. Also has a stage win under his belt, 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s. He was just under 100 points back of the lead. Will not gain many points on the lead, but surely will gain points on guys in front of him. He continues to run as he is right now. Keep an eye on Justin Malarkey here in the middle stages of this race. Not a ton of battles. Only 10 cars remain on the lead lap. Travis Everett leads after 110 laps complete at the Last Great Colosseum. As Matt Hayden puts pressure on Harold Watkins as he tries to get second. And at least put himself in a position to where if he gets a caution to go his way or he gets a pit penalty to go his way, he can be in position to capitalize, but not yet able to get closer than about a car length back of Harold Watkins. Keep an eye on this battle. Probably the best on the speedway right now, so we'll keep an eye here. Oh, trouble. Out in front of the leaders here. And could not tell which car it was. Brandon Beauchamp gets a piece. And it is Steve Potter that got around, so we'll take a quick look. Then we are going to take our halfway commercial break here. We'll take one look at this one. Oh, man, Potter big time in the wall. Does he get it again here off the corner? He does. When it comes off the wall, collects the 15 of Brandon Beauchamp and slides back up on track, and that's what draws a caution flag. A tough break for Steve Potter, who had been running really well. Manages to stay on the lead lap, though, and may avoid using the fast repair as well. Under caution for the fourth time on lap 115 at Bristol, as Travis Everett leads the way just over halfway through at the Last Great Colosseum. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll go PGR nonstop, so you don't miss a thing. We'll be right back from Bristol Motor Speedway.
Green flag is in the air. We are racing. 3x3. Almost no trouble. Around goes Alex Hill. On into the outside wall goes Hill. They're wrecking big time out back. We're not going to throw a caution. Finish. Who gets it in the line? Cody Nagels wins it in Talladega.
Have created our own drink company. The fastest growing sports drink in history.
We won't run! We won't run! Ladies and gentlemen, we got Alan.
The monkey is prime!
This season, we are hydrated.
The official sports drink of the UFC. It's time!
Oh, that's good.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready to go back under green with 108 laps to go at the Last Great Colosseum. Travis Everett, Harold Watkins, Matt Hayden, Justin Malarkey, and Rusty Modesty are your top five. And away we go. Green flag back in the air. Off towards turn number one. It's a great restart for Travis Everett. Not as good for Matt Hayden. Really good for Malarkey as well. But Watkins on the bottom on fresh tires. Here comes Harold Watkins, the pole sitter. Trying to get the lead back, not able to. Everett fights back on the outside. Now we'll fight back against Watkins again as they roll off turn number four. On board with the race leader, Everett. As he rolls up the hill, tries to time in the corner. Through the middle of 1 and 2 and down on the back straightaway. As Everett maintains the lead, Travis Everett just over 100 laps away from win number one of the season. Malarkey up to third. Hayden trying to rebound as Modesty's on his back bumper for the fourth position. Malarkey trying to get in this battle for the lead as well. Not out of it yet. About 8 car lengths behind the race lead. Here another lunge. Watkins to the bottom. Everett able to fight it off. Not able to roll the center of the corner as good that time. Watkins was. He'll try again on the bottom here of 1 and 2. Get alongside the 13, but that's as close as he can get. And for now, Everett fights off the charge again. Everett to the bottom. Now Watkins ran the top. Now transitions back to the bottom and stays a car length off the back bumper of the 13. We saw over the course of the long run, Everett was better than the 3. The 3 is the best car on short runs. Is he able to get the lead right here from Everett? Not yet. But Everett is driving out the rear view mirror right now. Down the back straightaway again. Just over 100 laps to go. We'll tick down double digits in just a moment from Bristol. As an intense battle for the lead, Travis Everett and Harold Watkins. Off into turn number 3. Again, they run the same line in 3 and 4. Watkins has been so good on the short run. Everett gets a little bit squirrely. Watkins gives him a nudge on the back bumper there off the corner, but is not able to drive away. Now the gap is 1 car length again. Everett trying to stave off this early run charge from Watkins, and now starts to pull just a tad on that Chevrolet. Watkins rings the bottom, but is not able to get much closer. And Everett now tries to set sail, looking out the back of the race leader. As Watkins rides right in the rear view. Malarkey waits in the wings if anything's going to happen with these top 2. But not for now. Off turn number 4. Under 100 laps to go. Make it 98 officially to go here from Bristol. As Travis Everett tries to lock up checkered flag number 1 of his season in 2025. Watkins looking for checkered flag number 3. Basically everybody, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, have all won. 6th place GT Aziri has won. Everett and Modesty, the only 2 without checkered flags in the top 6. Carlson, Coitrone are both looking for win number 1, as is Luttrell in 10th. But 5 of the top 10 cars have won races. Watkins took another lunge. You heard the engine noise to the inside, but not able to make it happen. Again, Travis Everett is able to fend him off. Justin Malarkey has pulled to within 4/10 of these leaders. Could he steal another one? He stole last week's race in Darlington. Could he steal this one from Bristol? Off turn 2, down the back straightaway again. Inside of 95 to go now. Next time by 93. These laps are going to tick off really, really quick. You're looking at about probably 25 minutes, just under 25 minutes left in this race if it goes green. That is not a lot of time to process what you're going to do. Everett starts to pull away just a little. 4 car lengths down the back straightaway and off into the wider turn 3. More narrow turn 3, excuse me. And now starts to drive away just the slightest bit. Otherwise in the field, Rusty Modesty takes 4th from Matt Hayden. Other than that, not a lot of movement amongst the top 10. Ooh, another big moment there from Travis Everett. He's trying to get every ounce out of that race car that he can on this set of tires. Inside of 90 laps to go now. Make it 89 at the line. Closing in on the 150 lap plateau. And again, it's only 9:25 here on the East Coast. We're talking about already the run of the finish. Watkins back within 2 car lengths. Another challenge upcoming from Harold Watkins. Malarkey and Modesty lurk in the shadows here. And actually start to close in a little bit more than anticipated. Really nice corner from Everett right there. Staves off the danger for the time being. But how long can he continue to do that? As Malarkey is now within 2 car lengths of Harold Watkins. Here comes Justin Malarkey. Will he get to the outside quarter panel? Not quite. He'll actually get the fence there off turn 4. Modesty lurks as well. Rusty Modesty looking for win number 1. Matt Aiden's not out of this thing either. He's the 2nd back of the leaders. Boy, we got a cluster coming up here at the front. A log jam of cars led by Travis Everett. And all of a sudden, a 2-way battle for the lead has turned into a 3, maybe even a 4 or even a 5-way battle for the lead here in just a moment. Malarkey thought about crossing underneath, going to back off the corner and stay on the top side as Watkins looks a lane higher than Everett. Modesty's within a car length of Malarkey now. Incredible stuff. 83 laps to go in Bristol, and we've got 4 cars under a blanket for the race lead. Everett by half a car length over Watkins. Watkins may lunge here into 3. No. Modesty a lunge on Malarkey for 3rd. Not going to get anything there either. And now closing in on 80 laps to go. We don't exactly know what the pit range is. At Bristol, it's a lot longer than normal, and if it is a 50% fuel load, which I've been led to believe that's what it is, let me double check that before I tell you, as the battle for the lead continues. Or maybe a full fuel run. If it's a full fuel run, then we're talking about no pit stops the rest of the way. I don't think that's been tradition so far this season, though, so even if it's half, we're looking at about 80 laps if we go on the normal cut distance. So we're looking at a pit stop at some point, but when will that happen? We don't really know. A car length between the leaders, 78 laps to go, 79, excuse me, at the line. As Everett and Watkins continue to fight tooth and nail, those other 3 cars have kind of fallen off the pace of the leaders just a tad, but continue to battle each other for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions as Travis Everett tries to hang on for dear life against Harold Watkins. With lap traffic looming. Next time by, 77 laps to go. And again, we're saying that now. In the next 5, 6, 8 minutes, we're going to be saying 50 to go. Then another 8 minutes, it's going to be 25 to go. These laps will wind down quickly for these guys at the front. Everett, a really nice corner there as well. 2 car lengths now, maybe 3. And Everett is starting to, again, demonstrate that long run pace that we saw from him on the opening run of the race and on that second long green flag run. Apologies for the sniffles. The weather's clearly gotten the best of me over the past couple weeks. Really falling off the pace now. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Malarkey 1.4. Modesty 1.78, 1.9. And Irizarry is reeling those guys in as Travis Everett begins to build a bit of a sizable lead here. And all 3 of those guys behind them have gone to the fence. Up on 70 to go. Travis Everett by 6/10. We're going to go back and look at this battle for 3rd as it is heated up. Matt Hayden underneath Rusty Modesty. That is for 4th. Modesty gets the fence. Hayden will slide on his nose, but got a poor middle of the corner. Now he'll slide on his nose. Matt Hayden able to run his more preferred line there. Malarkey is 3rd. Now Hayden is 4th. As Watkins falls a 2nd off the pace of Everett with 68 laps to go at the line. Laps to go. Hayden now closes on Malarkey for 3rd. I don't know if Matt Hayden, I don't know if either of these cars have long run race winning speed, but if it comes down to a race start and a short run like it often does at Bristol Motor Speedway, you can see it. Out of one of these 2 cars, we'll continue to watch this battle as one of the best on the racetrack. Ooh, both cars in the fence. This will be another chapter in the cruel story of broadcasted races for Matt Hayden. We talked about that running joke a few weeks back of races I broadcast where he can get on the podium and finish second, but is unable to somehow get to victory lane when I'm in the broadcast booth. He's going to put himself once again in position on a late race restart to go win it, but is not in a position long run, I don't think, to have the speed that Travis Everett does. Certainly doesn't right now on lap times as they run on the racetrack currently. That battle is complete. GT Irizarry actually makes it 2 for 1. He passes Malarkey as well. So speed for the 14 here in the latter stages of this one. He was not the fastest car on the racetrack, but he was second fastest. Excuse me. He was not. Let's see about that time by. And that time he was the fastest car on the racetrack. Actually, beg your pardon, it was Andrew Little, but Irizarry was the fastest of this lead group with 15.5. Travis Everett with a 15.55 that time by to Irizarry's 15.59. So Hayden will be caught now by Irizarry as Travis Everett's put a 2+ second lead on the rest of the field. The long run speed is prevailing. 60 laps to go. We anticipate maybe one pit stop remaining. At this point, the lower the laps get, I'm not even sure if we'll have one. 2.5 seconds. As Andrew Little's up to 6th. He's got some speed here in the late stages as well. As he tries to come on strong. Just like Irizarry, but neither is catching the leader. Hayden pulls a little bit here on Irizarry, 3-4 car lengths, and the battle is now kind of cooled off just a tad. The battle actually is behind them with these cars back here. Andrew Little, Justin Malarkey, and Rusty Modesty. Little's up to 5th. Andrew Little's got some serious late race pace going as he tries to run down those two cars 3rd and 4th. Keep an eye on Little. Justin Malarkey is on pit road with 55 to go, and that may be the signal that we have a pit cycle upcoming. Now, pardon my lack of preparedness. I'm not sure if we're using the single or the double pit road. Looks like we are using the double pit road. So the leaders are all going to have to enter on the turn 2 side of the speedway. So when you see these guys pit, you're going to see them pit from that other end of the racetrack. We're here off turn number 2. But no takers so far. From the lead group. Everett continues to lead, 52, make it 51 to go as he bypasses the start-finish line again next time by. Everett catching Hunter Carlson. He's going to put it down to 5 on the lead lap unless he makes the decision to come to pit road. Matt Hayden is already on pit road. So is Harold Watkins. And Everett makes the trip this time by on lap 176. He will hand the lead to GT Irizarry, who has been caught by Andrew Little. 68 is really fast here late in the race. Is it too little too late with the leader Everett? I think Everett's got the best car past about 25 laps, but Andrew Little trying to get another spot, maybe get a podium finish in this one. As he battles Irizarry, this is for position. Look at Malarkey on fresh tires, though. So he's trying to get by both of them. Matt Hayden will be in the same spot here. Whoa, Malarkey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tight quarters here off turn 4. And everybody gets it sorted. Goodness, that was a near disaster. Irizarry gives up the lead here to Andrew Little. He lets both those cars go. Off pit road, Watkins was able to beat Travis Everett to the punch by 5 seconds. And you wonder if perhaps a different pit call on the 3 is kind of what got him to that position. It's going to get him all the way back to the provisional lead. Modesty, Carlson on pit road. So it leaves Andrew Little, GT Irizarry, and James Coitron as the only 3 cars that have not made the trek down pit road. Here comes Irizarry. Coitron going to stay out with Andrew Little and leaves 2 cars, as of right now, that have not made the trip down the pit lane. Watkins by 5 seconds. Now he has lost some time to Everett, and with 43 laps to go, if he made a tire call, I don't know how sustainable that is for 40 laps, but the pace certainly is now picking up in the camp of Travis Everett as he had pulled it to within 5. Now he had a moment in turns 3 and 4 with a lap car and loses some of that time again. There's another moment there in turns 3 and 4. Harold Watkins may have made the race-winning call. Whatever he did on that pit stop, as he unlaps himself once there, may have very well won him the race, as Everett is 5.3 seconds back and fading. So we await Andrew Little. Coitron has come to pit road, so we await just 1 car to come down the pit lane. And it is Andrew Little, and if he were to catch a caution, this could be a monumental break for the 6080. Would trap the entire field 1 or 2 laps down. But unfortunately not meant to be, as he is going to make the trek to pit road with 37 laps to go. Luttrell comes down as well. All right, with 37, make it 36 to go when Watkins comes back by the start-finish line, assuming Andrew Little did not make some miracle pit call. But I don't even think he's gotten all the way around to his pit box yet. Assuming that is the case, Harold Watkins will have about a 4.7 second lead on what I think is the best long-run car of the day in Travis Everett. And now Everett has just 36 laps to try to run him down. You'll watch over there on the left side of your screen. That will be the gap between the 2 cars with 35 to go in Thunder Valley. GT Irizarry trying to unlap himself. Everett is chipping away, but will it be too little too late? 4.2 seconds. At the rate we're going, he's getting 0.2 a lap. Let's make sure he gained 0.2. He did not. Only 500s quick. Only 500s faster. At that pace, we'll definitely not be able to catch him. If he gains 0.2 a lap, he's got enough time to catch him. That'd be 6 seconds. That time by 0.4 quicker. At that pace, he'll catch him with about 10 to 15 laps to go. Catching him is one thing. You still have to pass him. Let's hear how much off throttle time. Oh, it's quite a bit. For Harold Watkins, who's trying to labor that car to a 3rd win. His gap now only 3.6. That time by 14.78. Now that's a better lap for Harold Watkins to a 14.77 for Everett. That's not enough. 30 laps to go, and Everett needs to do more. Watkins that time, again, looked about even. 14.81. 14.8 flat. That time Everett gains a considerable margin. 3, maybe 3.5, almost 4 tenths cut off the gap right there. And that time by, almost 4 tenths quicker once again. I think long run Everett is the better car. Down to 3.1 with 27 laps to go. 10.5 quicker that time by. Fastest car on track is Landry Little, who's trying at 14.62. Another lap where he cut a tenth, maybe a 10.5. It's about another tenth. So with 3 seconds at a tenth a lap, he's not going to have enough. He needs to gain more than a tenth a lap. He needs to have a few more laps where he gains 4 tenths. And he's just not doing that right now. A tenth right there is just not enough. Oh, bit of a blip in the throttle right there for the 3. How long can he hang on to these tires? 2.8 the gap, 24 laps to go. Keep an eye on that gap. There's Everett out back of the 3. And now my other question is, how hard does he get raced by the cars on new tires? Everett's not gaining enough. Everett is stagnated completely. 2.8, the gap has not changed. Changes marginally right there. He does not have enough time unless he starts really running good laps here. And he is stagnated out. It's actually growing now. .8, almost 2.9. As Watkins starts to drive away. 20 to go. Barring some horrible unforeseen circumstance, Harold Watkins is pulling away now from Travis Everett. Rusty Modesty will make his life interesting for a moment, but no harm, no foul. And Modesty goes on by. Gap down to 2.6. Gap down to 2.4. Okay, well now right back up to 2.6. Now Travis Everett is dealing with, well, he was dealing with a car that was on new tires. He's not anymore. And again, the gap down to 2.3. Almost 2 tenths quicker that time. And now it plateaus again. I think Watkins came and got tires, and I just think I think he undercut by enough that Everett was not able to get back to him on the green flag cycle. And now on new tires, Watkins has been able to just drive it as hard as he wants to. 2.5, 2.6. This one, barring, again, some circumstance, now closes on its conclusion. Harold Watkins won the mud shootout at Daytona. He won the Daytona season opener. And he won back at Homestead, Miami in race 6. He went back-to-back to open the year with the Bud Shootout win and the Daytona win, and then won Homestead just a few weeks ago. And has inherited the points lead over the last several weeks. And now looks to add the Last Great Colosseum and a gladiator sword to his collection as well. Notably, looking up at the timing and scoring, Matt Aiden's running really good laps. He's just not going to have enough time. He's gaining a ton of ground on the Watkins machine, but he's just not going to have enough time. 9 laps to go that time by. At 3.5 seconds, he would have to gain 4 tenths a lap He's gaining 3.5, so boy, he's going to make it interesting, but is not likely going to have enough time. Did not gain that much that time by either. Watkins is running really good laps right now. He's in the 15.5s. That time by only a 10th faster for Hayden. So, again, barring some miracle, it looks like in 7 laps, Watkins will close the deal. But now the battle becomes for second. Travis Everett is hunted now by Matt Hayden, who did get the wall right there, but is able to drive off of it. We'll try to keep an eye on this battle for a moment. Let's see if it wraps up quickly. And, oh man, Hayden pounds the outside wall. The inside of Everett, no dice, and slides, so we'll go back up front. Coming back to 4 laps to go at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's Harold Watkins. Looks to close out win number 3 in the regular season, win number 4 overall, counting the Bud Shootout, and extend his points lead over Christian Strader and the rest of the field. Next time by, 2 laps to go, coming back down the back straightaway, and if he makes it the next lap and a half without any issue, he'll see the white flag, and this race will be official. 2 laps to go at Bristol for Harold Watkins. Around turns 3 and 4, and the race is official. White flag, 1 lap to go in Thunder Valley. What a season it's been. What a start to the year for Harold Watkins. A couple regular season wins. He's going to tack on another here in Bristol and extend his playoff points lead. Harold Watkins wins at Bristol. It's 1 spot short for Travis Everett, who was looking for win number 1. Matt Hayden claws back to finish 3rd. In a race that mostly goes caution-free. Final over 100 laps ran caution-free. And get us to the conclusion at the Last Great Colosseum. Harold Watkins will come around and get to celebrate as the winner here in Bristol. We'll allow him the opportunity to do so. Harold Watkins, your winner at the Last Great Colosseum. Harold Watkins, we're actually going to keep it here because he's going to, well, oh. So preparing my post-race material, I actually forgot. They updated Bristol a few weeks back, and you can actually drive to the infield and go over to the ramp that leads to that elevated victory lane. Oh, well, a couple invisible walls here for Watkins. Is he going to try it again? I imagine he'd want to, and I kind of want him to. They updated it. It's one of the few tracks you can actually get to the infield victory lane, and it's really cool because, again, it's that elevated building. It's that rooftop at Bristol Motor Speedway where victory lane is, where the driver's presented with the sword. And there we go. He comes up the ramp. there's not really a great camera. That's the kind of problem with this. Oh, and right as I say that, he gets off the racetrack. But he was in victory lane for a moment. Let's see if he's still there. He's not. So Harold Watkins wins here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we'll get to talk to him and our top three here in just a moment. We'll go into our post-race coverage now from Bristol. We'll give you our finishing results from tonight's race. Harold Watkins gets win number 3 on the season. Travis Everett comes home with second. Matt Hayden in third. Justin Malarkey, nice run for him. Back-to-back really good runs. A win last week, a 4th place this week. GT Irizarry goes in 5th. Andrew Little finishes 6th tonight with Rusty Modesty back in 7th. James Coytrone in 8th. Hunter Carlson in 9th. And Stephen Luttrell finishes inside the top 10. Stephen Racek finishes 11th with Greg Bourbonier in 12th. Steve Potter, 13th. Brandon Beauchamp, 14th. And Mike Martino in 15th. Kevin Zabluto finishes 16th. John Velocity in 17th. And possibly the most unfortunate run of all tonight, the man second in points, Christian Strader, finishes 18th, 155 laps down. And will lose quite a bit of ground in the point standings. We're going to go get your top 3 for some post-race interviews. In fact, let's just jump right into it. Why not? Because they're all ready. They beat me to the punch tonight. We don't even have to go to a break because we have them already here. Let's get right into it with post-race interviews tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll start with the man who finished in 3rd. The streak continues of getting to talk to me and not being in victory lane. It's Matt Hayden in the 5 car. We'll see what he's got to say. We'll make sure before we do that our audio is all set to go. And that we've checked all our boxes, and it looks like we have. So let's get him in here. Matt Hayden, the driver of the 5 car. Matt, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dawson. How's it going?
Well, not too bad. And again, I mentioned the running joke that we have. You're talking to me again, and again, not the man in victory lane. Not a dig, but it is kind of funny. Regardless, look, 3rd place effort, another good points night, a consistent season so far for you. I would say 4th in the points coming into tonight, and you were 15 points back of Christian and 11 back of Andrew Little. You're going to gain points on both of them tonight. So got to figure, pretty productive night, a good run for you, almost a 2nd place effort as well. Take me through your night here at Bristol.
Yeah, obviously it's Bristol, it's a tough track, and, it's attrition, and we knew, tire wear was going to be a thing, and passing wasn't. It was kind of run the outside and then just kind of pick your spots as you went. Pass on the bottom was not easy. So just kind of tried to stick around up front. We had several green flag runs to kind of judge like how hard to push. The first 10 laps, 20 laps, what we need to do for the, first half of the tire run, the last half of it. And then everything felt different. The shade came in, I guess, I don't know if it was on the backstretch, but track changed and felt different. And then it was just running up into the wall every lap trying to catch those guys out front. But, I think that was a good old-fashioned butt kicking that Harold put on, so hats off to him.
Well, look, now we leave race number 9 and we come back after the off week next week. We kind of get a reset, but then it's only 3 races until the playoffs begin. Now's the time to start ramping up the momentum. What does the preparation look like for you? What is the mental preparation here for the playoffs? Talladega, Texas, Kansas are all that stands between us and the playoffs here in this first season in 2025. So, what does that preparation process look like for you as we approach the postseason?
I don't think a whole lot changes. I think we're still going to run hard. Talladega's a wild card for us. Texas is one of those. It's kind of like this. It's a technical track, so I think you're going to see kind of the familiar guys from this race at the front in that one. So it's just going to be trying to, match pace. Of course, throw people like Christian and stuff in the mix. He's had kind of a bad run these last couple of weeks, but you know just as well as I do that when he turns it on, he can be one of the fastest guys in any league that we run in. So just got to stay consistent, especially tracks like this, pick up points, and just get yourself seated to, not have to worry about those early rounds. But definitely want to try to contend for some wins.
We're looking forward to it here after this Easter week reset that we have coming up next week. A third place finish for you tonight. Headed into this, I don't want to call it a break. We're going to race next week, but you know what I mean. No points on the line next week, so kind of a break for you guys. So going into the break, a third place finish for you. Obviously, want to give you a chance before we let you head out. Anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Just everyone, Challenger Racing League. We've had fun so far. We're starting to wind down. Anybody out there watching, of course, we're open to bringing some new people in and kind of padding these fields up a little bit. But, you can tell from competition that we got a good group of guys here, good, clean race and respectful, and some fast guys on top of that. And you throw all that stuff together and you got a pretty damn good league. So just appreciate everyone's hard work on getting this going. Dawson for bringing every broadcast out here for us to show off what we do. Thank you for everybody watching.
Well, thank you for talking to me for a second. Congratulations on the third place finish. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. Enjoy the non-points week next week, and we'll either see you then or we'll see you in a couple weeks at Talladega.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Matt Hayden in the 5-car third place finisher tonight. Going to talk now to the runner-up, Travis Everett in the 13. It felt like all night that it was destiny for Travis Everett to maybe get to victory lane and get his first win of the season and position himself for the playoffs. And that's not to say he's having a bad season. Coming into tonight with 6th in points, surely now will gain some ground on the guys that were ahead of him. Again, it was only 3 points back of GT Erzuri. He was only 14 back of Matt Hayden. Was only about 25 points back of Andrew Little. So Travis Everett is slowly chiseling away at being a higher seed when we get to the postseason here in just a few weeks. But it felt like tonight was the breakthrough. It felt like tonight was the night he was the fastest car. It felt like tonight was the night he had the best strategy. And it felt like it was going to play right into his hands. Unfortunately, at the end, it doesn't fall his way. We'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about looking forward into the playoffs as well. Travis Everett, the driver of the 13. Travis, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, Dawson.
Well, I was just talking about it a second ago, and again, I'm keeping an eye on my technical stuff over here as well. But, if you do still have me, it was a fun one. I mentioned it felt like tonight was kind of the breakthrough moment. From the beginning of the race, you take the lead early, and I felt like you had the best long-run car. I felt like you had the best strategy. I felt like it was going to play right into your hands on a bit of a longer run late in the race. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite fall your way, and you finish second. What happened on the last cycle? Kind of what got you off cycle with Harold? What did he do? What did you do differently? Kind of take me through what happened there in that last 40 laps of the race that led to you finishing second tonight.
Yeah, personally, I'm going to catch whatever you say there, but I thought we had it figured out. We were better along there, but we were even on 4 tires and talking to her down in the waiting here. He took on that stop and beat the car for him. We were fighting the car off, and it worked. I thought tires would be the way to go there, not walk the last 30, 40 run.
Well, standing by here for a second, ladies and gentlemen, my Discord is having some problems, so I'm gonna try to solve those here. Oh, and now maybe a solve.
To him racing me clean and giving me a chance to pull out a second there. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all here in 2 weeks. I reckon it is.
Well, and I was actually gonna ask. I think we finally got it back. I'm not sure what that issue was, but. No, again, a fun one tonight. And I wanted to ask, kind of the question I was looking forward to hearing about the most was, we go forward, you don't get to win, but you're positioned nicely for the postseason. 6th in points, got a lot of bonus points, got some stage points tonight. And I wanted to ask, you don't manage to get the win. Do you feel like going into the playoffs that you need to win, or do you feel like consistency is better? Do you feel like it's better to just rack up points? Kind of take me through your mindset. Is there pressure to win, or is there more pressure to you to gain as many points as possible and position yourself for the playoffs?
Either way, I don't really feel any pressure. We run well enough with these guys week in, week out that a win could go our way any week, I feel like. But yeah, we're collecting some good points along the way. Just we've had one or two, especially tonight, I feel like just slipped through our hands. But strategy played out, wasn't in our favor. But yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of the schedule. We got Talladega coming up. That's a wild card, so no telling who could wind up in victory lane there. Texas, Kansas, those are both good tracks for us. So feeling confident about those. Just hoping the strategy can fall our way one time.
It's unfortunate it doesn't tonight, but again, a good run for you. Second place, again, more points. You rack up more points. You're probably going to be top 5 in points leaving Bristol. So got to feel pretty good. Before I let you go real quick, if you want to give any thank yous or shout outs on your way out.
Yeah, just again, thank you for broadcasting this thing for us week in, week out. And hope we're putting on a good show for everybody. Everybody at Challenger for the clean racing that we get. Race for these guys a lot here in the past and continues to roll over here with some good competition. So yeah, look forward to running with these guys week in, week out. And just congratulations to Harold again, and Matt, on a good run. And we'll see y'all here in 2 weeks.
Well, thank you for talking to me. Congrats on the second place finish. A great run for you tonight in Bristol. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will see you here at Talladega in a couple of weeks.
Appreciate it, brother. Y'all have a good one.
Travis Everett, the 13, tonight's second place finisher as we try to figure these technical issues out. But I'm hoping now we've got enough to just get to the winner, get to the man in victory lane. Don't want to jip him of his opportunity to talk about his race tonight. Harold Watkins wins at Bristol, his third win of the season, 4th overall. And we're going to wait here until I'm absolutely positive that we got enough bandwidth, if you will, or not sure what's going on, because again, the live stream is perfectly fine and clear, but for some reason Discord's having some maybe some third-party issues here tonight. But let's get Harold in here. Let's try to get him out of here so we can quit dealing with these technical problems. Harold, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Boy, a fun one tonight. A rarely clean Bristol race, and that's not to say anything about this league in particular, but Bristol has its own stigma that comes with it. Chaos oftentimes is talked about, but I mean, really, after about the lap 100 mark, it goes almost completely green. You win it on a strategy call. Take me through it. 50 laps to go. You come to pit road. What did you do differently? Was there a different call? Was it just how it played out? Take me through the end stage of this race and how you ended up in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, I had like 15 minutes of practice before this, so I had no idea where to run, and I had no idea how to react on a long pit run. So Travis was pulling away there at the end, and so I just decided I was going to do something different and loosen up the car and take 2, and I mean, man, it worked.
Well, absolutely, it did. Again, you come forward, you bypass him on pit road, and then you hold off. You kind of think Travis pits later. Travis has been better in the long run, and you kind of watch those lap times, and it plateaus about halfway into the run, and you manage to make it back to victory lane. You're the points leader coming into tonight. Christian Strader has problems. You're now going to extend that points lead. You've got your third win of the season. You're racking up playoff points. What's the mindset going into this off week, and now kind of what is the mental preparation for you for the playoffs? Likely staring down the barrel of the 1 seed overall in that playoff format. What's the mindset for you going into the next 3 regular season races before the playoffs start?
I mean, really, it's just clean runs. I just have to get as many points as possible, and there's a huge advantage to finishing first in the regular season, so that's the goal. So it's bonus points, stage points. That's going to be the focus, and then it's finishing as high as possible every race. And playoff points are great, but I probably shouldn't do off-the-wall strategies to try to win now. I should just focus on getting as many points as possible. I think it's like 15 playoff points for finishing first in the regular season, so I think that's kind of the goal, to get that now and really give myself a gap when we go into the first round of the playoffs.
Well, obviously looking forward to the last 3 races and seeing if you can lock up those crucial playoff points. A win tonight in Bristol certainly is going to help that case. Before we let you go, I do want to give you an opportunity. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, shout out to everyone in the league. It was a very fun race, a very clean race. Like you said, this doesn't happen very often at Bristol, so it was really fun to get to run some green flag laps as a league. Shout out to you up in the booth. It's always fun watching it back and seeing what happened throughout the race from other perspectives. And shout out to everyone that runs this league and makes it happen. You know, Rusty, James, Matt, you know, just everyone. There's so many hands in the pot here that make this work. So appreciate everyone and everyone out there watching. It was a fun one.
Absolutely. A fun one to watch, a fun one to call, and I'm sure a fun one to race as well. Congratulations on the win. Thanks for talking to me for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate it. We will see you here back in a couple weeks at Talladega.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Harold Watkins, your winner tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. That's going to just about do it for our coverage of a fun one here in Bristol as Harold Watkins captures win number 3 on this season. So, you heard me mention it earlier. Next week, this series takes an off week for Easter from points racing. There will be a race. Unsure at this point if there will be a broadcast for that race. It's kind of up in the air at this point. Now, be ready to check back with the channel next Tuesday night. If there is a broadcast, it will be posted. It will be the same process, and we'll be right back here. If not, there will be nothing posted. But keep an eye on the channel over the next 7 days as we get ready for the fun race next week. If there is not a broadcast, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time from tonight at Talladega Super Speedway for race number 10 of 12 in the regular season. We are approaching the end of the regular season already. I can't believe that we're already getting ready to close out the regular season for the first time here in 2025 and set the playoff field, but we are there. 3 races to go until we set our 16-car playoff field, and then it's on to points racing from there. Playoff style elimination format. Cannot wait to get to that part of the season. Head over to the main channel of PGR. Coming up in a few minutes, it's Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder from, I believe, Talladega Super Speedway. Let me verify that before I give you the wrong information about tonight's Tuesday Night Thunder race. It is Talladega Super Speedway in the Xfinity Series cars. With Michael Triscaro and Ron Morris in the broadcast booth for tonight's event. You will not want to miss it. Ron Morris Racing puts on some of the best weekly super speedway racing that you can find on the market. That's going to be a good one over there. Thursday night, the PGR Intimidator Super Speedway Series, I believe, makes its return as well as we get ready for that race. Looking forward into the Q2 schedule for PGR. This week actually going to be Daytona with a driver-voted car. We actually don't know what that car is at this point. So we'll be Daytona International Speedway this week for that race. So looking forward to that one on Thursday as well. Again, we are up in the air about whether or not we'll be back next Tuesday night. But we may or may not be for the Easter Fun Week race. If we are not, we'll be back in 2 weeks for Talladega Super Speedway as we wind down the regular season of the Challenger Cup Series here in 2025. Do you want to start putting some on your radar as well? The end of July, the beginning of August 2025, the second annual PGR eSports Summer Slam 499 will be presented to you live from Talladega Super Speedway. I'll be part of the broadcast team that week once again. Myself, Austin Green, maybe some special guests. Some things are in the works. Can't wait to have that back out for you. The PGR 500 back in February, a monster success. The SummerSlam 499, a big success last August as well. Can't wait to get back down to business in that event. It was a fun event last year. It'll be a fun event this year with the momentum coming off the PGR 500. It's going to be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, here from Bristol, that's going to wrap it up. Harold Watkins captures win number 3 on the year. We're going to head on out, go for an Easter fun week, take the week off. We'll reset, and we'll be back to wind down the regular season. We'll see you then for Challenger Cup Series Racing. For myself, Dawson Wise, you've been watching PGR eSports Network, Challenger Cup Series Racing from Bristol.